Hey guys, welcome to the Dark World Podcast, the unofficial episode. If you didn't notice, my co-host and friend Christian Jones, he's not here today. That's why this is the unofficial episode. But I'm just gonna tell you this right now. That's why it's an unofficial episode. See, I promised you guys I would give you some episode of the Dark World Podcast before Halloween. And I am going to Florida this coming weekend. So, actually, I'm going to Florida on Halloween. So, I didn't actually have time to do a regular episode. Because I have to literally get ahead on my online schooling so that I can finally have those days off and everything like that. I have to actually go ahead and do like 2 weeks before the date, like their due months. Okay, but anyway, I didn't have time because of that schooling and everything. I didn't have time to have anyone over, so that's why I'm doing an official episode of the Dark World Podcast. So with that being said, let's get started. So this is gonna be the first episode of my first podcast, which is amazing. I've been working so hard on this project that I've been planning. I've been like thinking about the things we're gonna do, and we're gonna literally make it like a show. Like we're gonna make it seasons and season. Like 1 month will be season 1. Like I think next month, November, is going to be season 1. Then December will be season 2. Month after month, be season after season. And it's going to be like, we're going to try to do like, almost like American Horror Story. Like, different themes for each season. But, anyway, if you don't know who I am Matthew Aguilar from Matt's House of Horrors. And, you know, this episode, this podcast is not for everyone, alright? It's only for those who are interested in paranormal, weird, everyday things that go every day. And, actually, mostly, it's just for horror fans in general. So, if you notice the background, the picture thing, usually in every episode it's gonna say Dark World Podcast with Matthew Aguilar and Chris Jones. Well, now it just says Dark World Podcast with Matthew Aguilar, and then that's like the. Okay, I'm not gonna explain that, but so. If you don't know me and you don't know what my channel dedicated to, I am a major horror fan. All right, let's just explain a little. Talk about a little about me. I am a major horror fan. Like if you haven't seen my vlogs or anything, or like you haven't noticed the background on my vlogs in my room, then it's like. There are 2 shelves dedicated to Blu-rays and DVDs, and 2 shelves dedicated to horror collectibles of all kinds. And very soon, you're gonna notice that I actually have a giant room. Why am I saying that? Because my bunk bed I used to have is gone. So now there's a giant space. I have a futon as a bed. And so yeah, next time you see a vlog, I make a vlog, I'm gonna showcase my room. Anyway, so there's a little bit about me. So hold on. So let's get started. What I want to talk about is horror games in general, like horror games throughout the years. And one. So, let's start off with some ones most horror fans should know about. like Alan Wake, with okay, just a note. Some of these I have never played. All right. I'm sorry to say that, but some of these I've never actually played. I've seen like PewDiePie and Markiplier and Jacksepticeye play them, but I've never actually paid the money and everything that's neat that I like. I mean, mostly I never even bought any most of these games, but there you go. All right, so the first one on my list, the first one through this is Scott. Again, most people might not know about these games, but if you're a horror fan, you might know about them. Called Cthulhu, Dark Corners of the Earth. So mostly, this game is a big love letter to H.P. Lovecraft fans and fans of Cthulhu in general. So yeah, this is. I hear it's a good game. I've never played it. Alright. Alright, so the next one is Daisy. I've kind of heard of this one. This is mostly a zombie game where you, of course, the annual zombie game, you're the apocalypse, you're in the zombie apocalypse, you have to survive, of course. So, yeah, but it just plays on the tropes of that setting so good. So, yeah, if you like think zombies, then I recommend it. The next one is one that not many know of. It's called My Father's Long Legs. So a cool thing about this one, it doesn't even feature one jump scare, which is amazing because that seems to be a theme throughout horror games now. They rely on more on jump scares than psychological scares, but My Father's Long Legs relies more on psychological scares than a cheap jump scare. Even though jump scares are awesome in the horror community, sometimes you just want to escape them. So, yeah, it's literally like, it's the fear of it's about the fear of not the unknown, but the things you do know, like you know this guy's secret, but it still scares you because this secret, like, terrifying or something like that. So yeah. The next one on this list is another game not many know, but it was banned. But you can still play it now, but it used to be banned. It's called Manhunt. So, this game I've been wanting to play is literally about, it's kind of literally about snuff films. Yeah, it's like snuff films and almost like a reality TV snuff film thing. It can get unpleasant and very bloody, but you know what? That's what horror games have become, so yeah, you can't really say, oh, I can see how it's banned, because you might as well ban most horror action games in general. So yeah, it's a really cool game, and now it's available through Steam, which is just awesome. So, yeah. Alright. The next one is I'm going to say Dead Space. The Dead Space series is a little terrifying. I mean, it's like the Alien movies and games, just with zombified monsters, and you're in a giant spaceship, and you can kill them. Unlike a game that's going to be further in this list, you can kill them. So the next one is Alan Wake. Most people should know about this one too. So this one is just, it's actually pretty good. But it's like a Twin Peaks style ghost story. And if you like Twin Peaks, it's a possibility you'll love this game. Anyway, it's like a ghost story. You're a writer who's on this island, and it turns out there's like, I believe like some demons or something, and you have to escape. That's mostly what it is. So that's Alan Wake, and you can buy it on Steam. The next one is Lone Survivor. Okay, so Lone Survivor is a very weird take on the whole zombie apocalypse genre, where the zombies are these faceless things. Okay, first of all, should I say this is a pixelated game? This is a retro, pixelated-like game. And the zombies, like, they don't even look like zombies. They look like these weird, deformed mannequins with no faces. And that's cool. And, like, there are points where you can go to sleep and then, like, be awakened by this guy with a box on his head and everything. It's just really cool. Really cool game. The next game on my list is on a little talk thing. Next game is The Evil Within. This game I'm actually still playing right now on PS4. It's mostly you go into hell. Literally, you go into hell and kill a whole bunch of demonic zombie things. So yeah, it's a really cool game. It's a really has beautiful graphics, and it's just a really good game. Right. So the last game I'm going to talk about, because I'm actually going to have an entire discussion in this episode about this, is the entire Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. So this is like mostly one of the games that like uses the whole jump scare thing the most. Actually, if you ask people more about this game, they'll be like, "Oh, it's the game with the jump scares," even though there's a big story behind it. But yes, it has jump scares, but there's a big story behind it. And yes, it has jump scares, sure, but you just gotta get over it, okay? Just get over the jump scares, the fact that there's jump scares, and keep. So here we go. Whew. I hope that I've studied a lot, because I've been actually working to do this discussion. Alright, let's go. So we're going to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's. So we're going to try to get into the story and everything. We're going to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, 3, 4, and Sister Location. So, if you know, all 5 of them, I believe it's 5, yeah, all 5 games are set in different times. Like, Five Nights at Freddy's is like set in like, I believe the early 80s. Five Nights at Freddy's is like set in like mid 80s. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is like a prequel, which is set in the early 80s. Five Nights at Freddy's 3, I believe, is 90s. And then Five Nights at Freddy's 4, I don't remember what time set that was in. But the one mystery that most Five Nights at FNAF fans are trying to figure out is, what time is Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location set at? Because if you look at these pictures, it's all futuristic. If you look at these and compare them to the other Five Nights at Freddy's settings, they're futuristic. Like, I mean, this one's futuristic. Like, it's like set in the future. It's all robotic and everything. It's not a guy calling you on the phone. This time, it's literally like a AI system talking to you. And so, yeah. So, yeah, that's a thing. And so, another thing you may notice, I can't find pictures of this, but you can look at videos and stuff. There's literally an option to shock the animatronics in this one. It's like, give them a good shock, make them energized again. And it's like, why? And then it's like, if you look back at the first trailer, it says, the first trailer for Sister Location says, don't hold it against us. Like, it's not their fault. Someone made them become what they are, and it's like, it's not our fault, so don't hold it against us. So, yeah. But as you can see in this picture, we have some new characters. This one's name is Baby, and then this one's name is Ballora. Now let's talk about Ballora for a little bit. So, can you see how her eyes are closed? Well, apparently it is canon that she can never open her eyes. She is literally blind. The only time she opens her eyes is when she jump scares you, and her eyes are literally a blue color. They're blue. So, she's literally like a black ballerina that is blind. She is a blind ballerina. And one of the reasons why there's like this big mystery behind her is because, what? Never mind. I'm not gonna reveal that just yet because it's a big secret, and we're gonna talk about that like near the end of this episode. So I'm not gonna reveal anything, any of the mystery, but just remember that her eyes are blue. All right. So okay. So then we go on the Baby, which I don't know, what I get from it is that she wanted to try to become, because if you didn't realize already, all the animatronics are alive. They're not like a robot program. They are literally living beings. They are living things. So this one, her character story is that she wanted to become the creator's new daughter. Alright? There's another thing for you guys to remember, is that she wanted to be the creator's new daughter. So, we have another character. We have another new character I forgot to mention too, named Innard. Yeah, look at that creepazoid. Just look at him for a while. So, also in the near the ending of this episode, we'll get to the reason why he's called Innard. So, there's a lot of secrets and everything in the games. Like, one theory that I believe is the one that people are like actually believing more, is that you were playing as Purple Guy. If you don't remember, this is Purple Guy. If any of you played Five Nights at Freddy's 2, 3, and I believe 4, makes a little cameo appearance in number 4. This is Purple Guy. He's like, people say he's the creator, and this game mostly delves into if he was the creator, what'd he do? So apparently, so I also, another disclaimer. I just wanted to. Alright, so this game delves in, like I said, this game delves into that mythology. Like, they're saying that, well, we don't know the creator's true purpose for making these animatronics more like alive. We don't know why he decided, I'm gonna play God and create a living, breathing creature out of metal. We don't know his purpose for that. We never figure that out. We never get the answer to that. But so another mystery that surrounds Sister Location is that, why is it underground? If you've seen the trailer, it literally says it's 50 miles below ground. It's literally a kid's restaurant 50 miles under the freaking ground. Why? Why does it have to be underground? Why can't it be above ground or anything? So mostly it leaves the question, what possibly happened in this future that literally a kid's restaurant has to literally be 50 miles below ground. Probably be safe. What happened to the future? Like, what happened in this future? So, that's another question that might never be answered. There's a lot of, like, mysteries surrounding these games. I'm trying to talk about more of Sister Location since it's the most recent one, and it kind of has a lot of mystery going on to it and a lot of story to it. But we're gonna have to steer off that road, if you know what I mean. If you don't know what I mean, mostly right now we're just gonna talk about more of the other previous games. So, mostly Five Nights at Freddy's 4. So, if you didn't hear me mention, there's this thing called the Bite of 87, where this kid literally was found in an animatronic's mouth, getting bit, and got brain damage. And in the entire game of Five Nights at Freddy's 4, you're inside his nightmare, like a coma nightmare thing, and he's really in the hospital, and you're like, almost, because he sees the animatronics as demons now, because he was so traumatized by that event that he thinks of them as evil. So that's what the entire game of Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is. So look at this. This is Fredbear. He has a mouth and a stomach. So this is what I believe. I believe because Fredbear is the animatronic that they found this boy inside his mouth. That's why he looks all terrifying, and that's why if you play the game, you get to the end, like I believe it's the 5th night or the 6th night. This guy is like the main boss. He's the main boss you have to defeat before you win the game. That's why, because he's the one that traumatized this kid the most, because he's the one that bit his head and gave him a brain injury. So I gave you quite a bit of story for number 4. I mean, there's a lot of story. Anyway, I also wanted to show you guys this. I can't show you a video of it, but I can show you a picture. So this is the little cameo Purple Guy makes in the 4th game. You see that? That's right. If you remember, you can literally see him stuffing a man into an animatronic suit. It is clearly an animatronic suit. And it clearly looks like the guy is not having a good time. He is not having a good time, but Purple Guy is forcing him to do it. So, means, is Purple Guy the creator of these animatronics? Is he the one who created these animatronics, these things? That answer, we may never know that answer, ever. But in this episode, when we get back to talking about Sister Location, that game kind of gives us more of an answer to that question. Is Purple Guy the creator of these animatronics, or what? So, with that being said, we get to the 3rd game. Now, I heard the story behind this one. There's lots of stories behind this one. Let's get you the 2 that I hear some people talking about the most. One is that the original Freddy's Fazbear pizzeria was burnt to the ground. So, for some reason, they have a security guard there. So that's one of the stories that people got. Another story is that Five Nights at Freddy's Fazbear's Pizzeria was burned to the ground, of course. But then they decided to turn the the ruins of the building into a Halloween haunted house, and they had to have a security guard there, and then that's when the madness happens. So the main villain, because you get like the Freddy Fazbear, Foxy, all of them, let's just say they're not animatronics. They're mostly like a hallucination. Most people call them hallucinations because they're not real. They don't really kill you, even though you probably think you're gonna die. You don't die. It's mostly like a distraction for the real villain. This guy named Springtrap. So here's a little backstory for him, and apparently, so this one, people say like, oh, this is a backstory. Most people think of for this for Springtrap is that I'm guessing it's been proven because everybody actually agrees that this is the real backstory. He is Purple Guy. So I don't know about how they did it or anything, but the animatronics somehow stuffed him into a suit, and Springtrap is literally Purple Guy in a suit. But then there was another origin story I heard of too, which I thought would be cool. Is that Purple Guy literally captured a mass murderer and stuffed him into Springtrap's suit, and that's what you see in number 4. That guy's literally a serial killer. And that's why he's all psychotic and like that, because he's actually a serial killer in that suit with his brain. But who knows? Who knows? I like both stories, actually. The proof that it is someone in a suit, you can tell because I will show you this picture. I don't know if it means anything, but I just think it means something. Just looking. Hold on. Let's see if I can find one in his face. Like, this is his face. Alright. Look inside his mouth. Can you really see it? Okay, so you have the animatronic mouth on the outside. But down on the inside, you have this decaying looking jaw that's on the inside. If you can't see that, just like pause the episode and look closer. But anyway, that kind of proves my point. There literally is someone in that suit, and he's probably dead. I think he's dead. Either he's dead or that the suit's actually kind of keeping him alive. But he looks like he's dead. That jaw, he looks like it should belong to a corpse. But apparently, what keeps these animatronics alive is like their souls. For the people who are stuffed in those suits, their souls are what's keeping them powered up. It's keeping them alive. So yeah, it looks like there's someone in that suit, and he's probably dead. Alright, so now we're done talking about Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Let's go to number 2. And I'm not going to do number 1. Right after number 2, we're just probably going to go back to Sister Location, because number 1 doesn't have that many doesn't have that many mysteries like the sequels do. So, in number 2, this is literally a prequel to the first game. We have new characters, but one character that interests me more. People, they literally gave it 3 names. The fans gave it literally 3 names. Baby, the puppet, but the name it's most known by now is the Marionette. So this one was a big shocker, because no one knew this guy would be in here, and he wasn't part of, unlike the other characters in this game, he's really not that part of lots of the other games. It's like, whoa, and we didn't know what the hell he was. The game didn't describe him or anything. He was just there. So, we don't know his backstory. We don't know anything about this guy, other than how creepy he is, and that, in the fourth game, he's like one of the hardest bosses to beat in the fourth game. Like in the 2020 mode of the fourth game. So, what do people think he is? Well, there's a lot of people who think that he is. A lot of people think that he is a second creator because there's a theory that the purple guy wasn't the only creator. There were two of them working together. I believe one got the people and kidnapped them. The other stuffed them into suits. I think the guy who's kidnapping them is the marionette. He is the one that was doing it, and he was the second creator. And I think because, unlike most of them, he kind of looks a little more human. I know. He's really slender, yeah. He has a white face, but look at the others. They look like animals. They literally look like animals except Balloon Boy. But the others look like animals. He literally looks almost resembles a person. So, kind of tells you, is that a person, like, not even in an animatronic suit? Is it literally just a person with a mask? Alright. So, enough about Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Enough about the Five Nights at Freddy's 2, 3, and 4. Let's get the sister location again. So, apparently, an apparent backstory is that the creator, purple guy, he created these things, of course, and he had a daughter. If you haven't played Sister Location or seen anyone like Markiplier, or anyone like that play Sister Location, then you wouldn't know this, but if you have played it or seen anyone play it, you would know this. Literally, like, after each chapter thing before the new game loads, you literally hear this creepy little girl voice like saying, "Why can't I play with them?" And it's like, what the? Who's that? And then you figure out. Remember how I said Purple Guy had a daughter? You figure out this is that daughter. So then this is when it gets a little morbid. So then you figure out more and more that baby, this one, killed his daughter. So I don't know how she got into the little laboratory thing, but she got a little too close to baby, and baby literally crushed her. She crushed her and then killed her. And what I believe, at least what I think, is that she did this because she wants to become his new daughter. Alright. He wants to become his new daughter, and she wants to become his new daughter, and he's just not having it. He's like, "You killed my daughter, you're gonna get punished badly." It's almost like a PE teacher. I don't know if all of them do this, but I do know that some do this, where if one person screws up, everyone gets punished. Well, it's almost like that. You killed her. Now I'm gonna punish you and every other animatronic. So then he had these buttons installed, and I think he had these little shock collar things installed in their legs or something like that. You press this button and it shocks them. It literally tortures them, and they're literally living creatures being tortured. That's why in the trailer you hear that voice saying that don't hold it against us, because it's not their fault that they're like this. He made them like this because of revenge and despair and depression and everything. He did that. So then you get farther in the game and you kind of start to think, what if you're playing as Purple Guy? What if, So, let's move on to a different topic. Now we're gonna get to Ballora. Alright. We don't know who Ballora is. We don't know who Ballora is, why she was here. Not in the book. She's not in the previous games. Okay, Baby's a new character, yes, but we already have more of a backstory with her. Ballora, we don't even know, except that she totally hates the creator's guts. Purple guy, or whoever the creator is, she totally hates him. So, the question is, who is Ballora exactly? Well, from what we can tell is that if you played the game, you would know this. She is blind. She's literally a blind ballerina. She never opens her eyes unless, like, her face is getting torn apart or something like that. And then she opens her eyes. But she's literally a blind ballerina. And we don't know who she is. We don't know anything about her. She was just introduced. So, yeah. We don't know anything about her. So, just remember all that. Just remember that. And also remember, if you do get jump scared by her, you would notice her eyes are purple. They're the only animatronic eyes are purple because when you get jump scared, her face splits apart and it shows the eyeballs. And her eyes are purple. Remember that. It'll be important later on. So, alright, so now let's move on to something else. We're almost to the ending of this episode. And we'll move on to something that is called the scooping room. Which is literally, you're told, or at least I believe you're told. I never played the game, but I'm just gathering all of this from theories and gameplay I've seen. But you're told, like, the scooping room is like where you get ice cream mostly. It is not like that. It is more morbid than ice cream. So, I believe this is for the bad animatronics. When you get scooped, they take out your exoskeleton out of the shell and leave the shell in there. And this is where another character, I don't remember if I mentioned it before or not, alright? Listen, I've actually been doing these episodes, recording these for like a lot of days. Like, I've been stopping, doing different recordings, like listening where I left off and doing from there for probably from all this week. So yeah. But anyway, back to the topic. I just wanted to mention that. But anyway, I don't remember if I mentioned him or not, but a character named Innard. He is literally made out of all the innard stuff that's from the scooping room. They got from the scooping room. So, there is a scene where if you enhance the lighting, I can't do it, but there's a lot of people, like, if you watch the video that actually inspired me to make this episode mostly about all the Five Nights at Freddy's story and everything, it is a thing you can find on Markiplier's channel called, I think it's called Let's Talk About Five Nights at Freddy's or something like that, and it's like a live broadcast. It's 2 hours long, but if you want this better explained to you, I suggest you watch that. Anyway, so they line it, and when you're in the scooping room, Innard is literally standing on the other side where the buns are, watching you. Before you get scooped. I can't, like I said, I can't show you video or anything. You have to go to them for that, but I can't show you any of that. But all I can show you is this picture of the scooping room, and it is, like I said, it's morbid. Then after that, you go into the mirror, you see this, like, your silhouette, then your eyes open, and it's purple. Remember, I told you, remember that Ballora's eyes, when you get jump scared by her, her eyes are purple. Well, reason why it's like a big deal, like, oh, it opened his eyes, now they're purple, because a lot of people, and now including myself, believe that Ballora, that when Purple Guy got scooped, Ballora is the one that went into his shell and now she's the one controlling him. I don't know how relevant that is, but I believe that is literally what's happening. And it's creepy to think that now this animatronic is literally in human skin in the world. Possibly gonna create more animatronics. So there's a lot of story with FNAF or Five Nights at Freddy's. All the games, there's a lot of story, and I'm really glad I got to get into that with you guys. So this is the first of many Dark World podcast episodes, except this is probably the only unofficial one that ever come out, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like this video. So we're gonna be doing this often. We might not record like every weekend or anything. We might try to, but we might not be able to like get it out every weekend. Maybe monthly, maybe like once a month we can do that. But because we're gonna try to do it, me and Christian, and it's not gonna be another official episode because this, for the second podcast, unlike this one, I can't do an unofficial episode of the other podcast because let's just say, like, because for this, the topic of this, I didn't actually need to talk to anybody. I could literally just talk to you guys for a topic of Five Nights at Freddy's. That's all I'm saying, not everything else. No. Only this topic, and I was just getting you anything that you should experience through the Dark World podcast, our little journey into hell. But for the other one, I can't do that because it's a little hard. Alright. So, but trust me, even though this was fun to do by myself, I need Christian. I need a partner to make these episodes. It's hard to do these research by yourself. It's hard to just talk by yourself. And I think it's better and more fun if you have another person to be like your second voice, and you can discuss with them, and then you guys can hear our discussion and maybe think of your own theories and stuff like that. But like I said, expect more Dark World podcast episodes, and oh my god, it is my favorite time of the year. Crap, I forgot to do that. I should go do that right now, but I had to charge my GoPro because like the GoPro, it really needs to be charged, and because I'm gonna vlog my Disney trip. I'm gonna do a better version because I don't want to say this, but I'm gonna do a better version because the last vlog I did at Disney was crap. I'm just gonna say that it was crap. It was low quality. Actually, you know what, I'm gonna say it's one of my worst vlogs I've ever done, and it just didn't make sense because I couldn't upload from my phone, which I actually accidentally started recording with for the second night, and that one will be more of a good vlog, but I like, my editor on my phone, my video editing thing on my phone wouldn't work and wouldn't allow me to upload it, so I couldn't get that out. But this time, I'm gonna record it all on my GoPro, and I'm sorry if you can barely hear me when I do this because I have to have the thing closed. I usually have the back case open so that you can hear me, but I have to have it closed, so if you barely hear me, I'm sorry. I will put subtitles though, if you want to, if you actually care. I will put subtitles, though. Alright? So, without that being said, please like this video, please subscribe, and, oh yeah, I should say this, Happy Halloween. Have a very safe Halloween weekend. Remember, like I said, remember, be safe. You don't know who's out there, especially in this very, very dark world we live in. Alright, goodbye.